Welcome to the 1204. A lot of Muslims do not only themselves, but they do their religion a great disservice when they justify their Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam relationship with Ayisha. Muhammad was a man in his 50s. Ayisha was 6 when Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam married her. Ayisha was 9 when Ayisha had sex with Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A lot of Muslims, in fact, I would say maybe about 95% of Muslims, they justify the fact that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in a relationship with somebody who was 9 years of age. And that only does their religion a great disservice. Because, especially in Britain, British people, let me tell you the mentality of white British people. They will listen to a Muslim justifying the relationship between a 54-year-old man who happened to be a prophet. They will justify that relationship. They will listen to them justify a 54-year-old man in a relationship with a 9-year-old. And then they will look at what took place in Rotherham or Rochdale. And they will put 2 and 2 together and they will come up with 20. And that's why white British people believe that the Muslim religion is a pedophile enabling religion, is a rapey religion, is a perverted religion. Because they will look at these bastards justifying Muhammad's marriage to Ayisha, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then they will look at any sexual crime that is committed by somebody with the name Hassan or Khalid. And like I said, they will put 2 and 2 together and come up with 20. I watched it was a YouTube channel. It was this white English guy with a slap head, looked like Grant Mitchell, and he was interviewing this Muslim. And the Muslim guy, this was a Muslim white guy who converted to Islam. And this guy was actually trying to justify it. See, because how these Muslims justify Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's relationship with Ayisha? They will start to talk about the age of consent all over the world. In certain countries it's 13, it's 12, it's 14. They will talk about Mary was only 12 when she was with Joseph. By the way, Mary in the Bible, according to the Holy Scriptures, was a virgin. So even if Mary was 1 year old and she was married to Joseph, Joseph went hitting it from the back or the side or the front. I don't think Mary even gave Joseph a handjob. But the Quran talks about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam having sex with Ayisha. And that is disgusting. The fact that you Muslimics, you Muslim bastards, will actually try to justify it. You guys will say that, well, Ayisha, she hit puberty, so therefore she's a woman. I mean, I want to make something clear. A 9-year-old hitting puberty is still a 9-year-old. We're not talking about a 15-year-old here. And I'm not trying to say that I will be in support of it if Ayisha was 15. But the fact is, a 15-year-old is going to be more developed in terms of her body, and she's going to be more woman-like. It's still wrong. I don't support that sort of thing. But a 9-year-old is not going to be developed. I don't care if she's bleeding. Couldn't give her monkeys. She's not going to be developed. There has never been a time in your lifetime you have ever seen a 9-year-old that could pass for an 18-year-old. That is a lie. And you people need to be very, very careful. Because when you justify Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when you justify that situation with Ayisha, people think that you are not only enabling pedophilia, they also believe that you are a pedophile yourself. And this is what I'm saying. You guys are doing a great disservice to your religion. I've seen so many debates, so many discussions when that is brought up. Even Muslim people who I respect, who I consider to be highly intelligent. I believe his name is Mehdi Hassan. He now lives in America. Even that guy, as soon as they ask him about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's relationship with Ayisha, they will justify. Oh, but in those days, people looked a lot older. Or in those days, the 9-year-old was a woman. And in those days, listen, that's disgusting. And I think if Muslims said, listen, he did it at that time, but I believe that's wrong, and I don't think anyone should do that. If they say that, I'm not saying that people will flock to Islam, but I think it will be a lot better. But the fact they're not saying it, people think that you yourself are going to be engaging in this type of things. You have to remember, a lot of countries with a large majority of a Muslim population, a lot of people get married very young. A lot of girls get married very young. You've got 14-year-olds. I've seen it in the north of Nigeria. I've seen 14-year-olds get married to guys in their 60s. So people look at that, and then they look at the Quran, and then they look at people who are Muslims justifying it. basically not condemning it. And like I said, they put two and two together, and they come up with 20. So I think it's in the interest, it's in the best interest for Muslims, especially Muslim men, if they condemned Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's relationship with Ayisha. Because if you don't condemn it, people are going to automatically think you condone it. And if they think you condone it, they're going to think that you are engaging in it. Assalamu alaikum.